Hey there, Wall Street winners. It is Monday, September 22nd, and welcome back to the Trump tariff game. I took a few days off from the Trump tariff game posts, but I wanted to get back to this with Trump's latest announcement of a $100,000 fee for H-1B visas. You'll notice that the majority of these visas are issued to Indian firms. Over 70% are to folks working for Indian firms coming over to the US. And I had a business. I used to run a IT software and consulting business. And it was a business that had employees around the world. And a lot of those employees required H-1B, L-1B, TN visas. So I'm very familiar with this space. And the short-sightedness of this is clearly a negotiation tactic for trade and tariffs, because this is a bit of a very short-sighted type of implementation. Now, the interesting part about this is the fee doesn't apply to current H-1B visa holders. So those visas are good for a year. They do not renew. I was told explicitly that you don't renew a visa, you apply again. So it's a new visa each and every time. But the interesting thing about this that is short-sighted on the US's side is if they restrict the number of visas issued to these people, 200 and call it 300,000 visas in total, round numbers, all of these people travel to the US. So you're going to cut down on airline flights to the US from these different countries. You're going to cut down on rentals because these people don't buy typically. They rent in the cities in which they're working, a lot of them in Seattle, a lot of them in Texas, a lot of them in California, New York City, all around the world, typically larger metropolitan areas. They're not going to be visiting grocery stores. They're not going to be leveraging rental cars. They're not going to be buying groceries or ordering food or doing any of the things that you would do when you live within a specific area, because they're now going to be working from India and doing the same work remotely to avoid this $100,000 expense. The other thing you have to think about is large companies, global companies, KPMG, Deloitte, two great examples, JP Morgan, another one, Goldman Sachs, and Microsoft, Amazon in the tech sector, Meta, they've already set up huge business complexes in India with over 10,000 employees, probably more depending on the company. And they employ full-time Indian citizens over in those business complexes. That's not going to change. They're just going to increase the number of people over there doing the work. So these folks that are here on H-1B visas, in the end, if they don't get their visa when they have to reapply, they're simply going to be sent back to India or Philippines or China. They're going to do the work remotely anyway. So we're not going to get the jobs back for Americans that may be the underlying goal, or at least what's talked about as the goal, when the real goal here is simply trade negotiations. Anyway, that's my perspective as someone that's been in the industry. I'd love to hear your perspective in the comments. If you like the videos, please hit the like and subscribe button.